So tonight I'm going to do a reading on the Britney Spears thing. Now I normally wouldn't even bother reading it. I know I did read Will and Jada. Um, Once in a while I'll read celebrities. I know I read a lot of celebrity astrology charts back in the day, but as I was kind of I'm going through my news feed, I've been seeing lately little bits of like Free Britney, and maybe she's sending subliminal messages through her Instagram. And I went ahead and looked at her Instagram, and there's a lot of real somber looking photos of her not smiling, heavy eyeliner. You guys probably seen those if you've been on Instagram. But one of the things I was definitely feeling with looking at the photos, like, it looks like they're trying to heavy medicate her, you know. I definitely was kind of feeling that because like the aura, I guess you could say, the aura of some of these images is so dull and everything. Let's just get into the reading kind of, is she free? But one of the things kind of coming up is, can she get free of this conservatorship? And so apparently, the father has control. The mom kind of oversees it, but she kind of feels a little more out of the picture. But he's really the one who's in control, is the father. And a lot of people feel that, she is not free. And, what is kind of the basis of this? Now, what is very interesting is this. This is Nine of Swords. It flew out of my deck. Let me tell a quick story. The reason why I decided to read it. I was looking at these posts and the Free Britney thing. So I just found an article about Free Britney movement and posted in my group. Asked the psychics if they want to look at it, and I just said, "Is Britney sending an SOS to her fans?" So this is why I decided to do the reading. This is the only reason. So one of the psychics commented, as I just read that, right now, playing on the radio is sending out an SOS. That, I'm not kidding. And when she told me that, and I bet it freaked her a little, to see my post, but when she told me that, I was definitely going to do this reading. Because I'm like, wait a minute, maybe that's Spirit's way of saying, yeah, they're onto something. The fans aren't crazy. She really is sending messages out for help. Okay, let's get to the read. So, Knight of Swords, if you look at it, this is the card of depression. Most of my tarot readers know that. Knight of Swords is very sad. And even tarot chose my Moon World deck, which is Mystic Dreamer. It's very feminine. But it almost kind of looks like Britney, very sad, sleepless nights. But I want you to kind of take note something. It is reversed. Now, in a reversal, normally when I see a reversal of the Nine of Swords, someone is coming out of their depression, or they're not suffering from depression as much as they were before. They are in a better place. So this kind of makes me feel, when I look at that, it flew out. Okay, one of the things, it went like this as I'm kind of shuffling, but that her mental illness issues and so forth, that they have been going in there and saying, oh yes, she's mentally ill, she's got this and that going on, and she makes crazy decisions and this and that they're not as warranted as people make them out to be. Lots of people have depression, or maybe they do erratic spending, or do things, she was a young person, right? But seeing that Nine of Swords in the reverse position is very intriguing to me, that she is not as mentally incapacitated as they make her out to be. But I do feel she's definitely medicated. Looking at those photos, I don't feel good about it. Like, she's not herself. She's not herself. This is not the bright young girl that I remember, in the 90s, and all her music and dancing on stage. The aura is a completely different aura. I feel they got her heavily medicated. Crossing is the Hangman. So you could say her career and everything is really suspended at this moment, and she is trapped. Okay, so it's not just her career, but she is also trapped. She can't go anywhere. Okay. And she does feel trapped like the hangman. But I feel like, and I look at that Nine of Swords, one of the things about the hangman is getting a new perspective on things. So you can receive your kind of enlightenment in such a state. So I feel like certain things are kind of still coming together in her mind, and she is becoming much more aware. And I feel like there's this energy, she's always had a lot of energy, even though she's, being medicated, but, there's something that really wants to burst forth, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out. And I think it's, in August, they're supposed to go back to court to maybe extend this conservatorship. But I want you to kind of take note in her position. I've got the Strength card. And this is what I'm really hoping that, she's just waiting for this moment to really show her stuff. And I'm hoping she can do it, is to show her strength. So, I kind of look at that. Oh, the dad who shows us the King of Swords is right next to Strength. He thinks he's got her where he wants her and everything. He can control her. But she has a lot more power than he realizes. This is her money. Let's put it this way. This is her money and this is her life. And how long are you going to be able to sell it to the courts that she is just, so mentally ill and this and that and can't take care of herself? How long can you sell that for? So I look at this Strength card here, and I really feel like she's getting ready there to fight. I feel like she's getting ready to fight and everything. It's coming and everything. I also do have, and it almost looks like Britney there too, doesn't it? It's the Four of Cups. So, she's very somber, and she's been making faces like this on her Instagram even. And I do feel, one of the things very sad is there was happier times, and I see her looking at those three cups. She had a marriage that didn't work out and various things. The Federlane has the kids, so she's very unhappy, of course, unhappy with her circumstances. But I don't feel, when I see that Nine of Swords, I don't feel she's mentally ill. She may have had a depression. Maybe she was having a little bit of bout with something, but to take away her freedom, no, when I look at this, it's like she is not so mentally incapacitated. You need to take away her freedom. I agree with the fans on this, especially seeing the Nine of Swords and that Hangman. But if anything could make somebody, go a little nutty, would be to be like trapped and have no freedom. So, she just wants her freedom. But I do see that Divine Cup, and the Divine Cup actually kind of makes me feel the fans reaching out to her with the love, that they're all, they love her. And it's like, she, it's not like she doesn't care about her fans, so do not get me wrong, but she's in such a bad state, it's hard to see all that love coming at her. She's so trapped in the past in certain things, that went wrong in her life and so forth. And then she's kind of sitting there in these circumstances where she doesn't have this freedom. And she's very locked in that, this is somebody like this, her spirit, this is the way she was, when she was on top of the world. And that kind of looks like a pose she would do, with that Strength card, very, very sexy and everything, but she always had still classy, she would push it like Madonna, but still very classy. But is part of this have to do with some of the finances and so forth, controlling the money? Well, when I go into the past position, like before, all this paperwork went down and everything, I've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, which this is about, giving the money to beggars. And this is up to the point she doesn't have control of her own money. She's one of the beggars trying to get her own money. Everything is kind of reversed, where she was the one in control of her own money, her own $59 million, guys. She, if she wants to get any money, it's all under, the control, of the court, of the dad. He controls everything. And I don't feel he's given her very much, because the Five of Pentacles, it's like very, very little just to get by. Just to get by. This is kind of like a poverty, destitute, just, giving her just little bits of chump change. And this is her money. That's the crazy thing. So yeah, there's a little bit of, there's some greed in there. You bet. That's going on. Now, I know one of the reasons she can't get out a whole lot is because of COVID. You guys who watch my readings know this is my symbol for COVID. This is my COVID card. So she's got to be in isolation and so forth. That's a given. She has to be in isolation. But on the same token, I look at this depression, that they're trying to sell, this mental incompetence, and I'm not buying it. I feel like she may have had, a couple moments that got, she had to flip out, or maybe it was a manic episode or something. I'm not sure. But, when I kind of look at that, but this is, to try to control her like this, that she cannot handle her own life. Okay, that's what basically this says. I know it's because of the money, because I see, these cards here in the past position, it's because of the money. They want to control the money and stuff. And that's what I feel really is the motivation here, by, to control her, because, she's worth a lot of money. This is kind of sad. This is sad, and I feel for her. I feel for her. But the fans are trying to reach out, they're trying to reach out and give their love and everything. But I'm sure she does feel it deep down, but she's in a bad spot, especially with this hangman, that she's completely restricted and powerless at the moment. But, just give her time. Give her time. Pretty soon that court is going to come up. Relationship seems fine, though. I mean, as far as a relationship, I've got the Two of Cups. She does seem happy with that. That is probably, the bright side right now in her life right now, is her relationship. So I feel with the new guy, everything is going okay. But that is a soulmate. And that's, like I said, that's the bright spot in her life. But I do take note of one thing, is the outcome is the Five of Swords. So the battle is going to come to an end very soon. As I kind of look at this, they're not going to be able to keep this over her head much longer. They're not going to be able to do it, because this is not like somebody who is schizophrenic and this and that. I mean, the justification to be able to get this over her head is unbelievable, how they were able to do this. But for the fans, because I know some fans are watching, next to the Five of Swords, the end of a battle, because, it's going to come to an end. They're not going to be able to control her forever, is the Star. And I know you all want her free. I've read some of your comments and everything. But the Star is the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, she is in darkness right now, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. She's going to get free. She's going to get free. This is parents doing this to their kids. This is outrageous. Because, this is my main clue. Out of every card I've got is this. The Nine of Swords in the reverse position. If I saw this upright, I'd say, yeah, she's got a real bad depression and this and that. But it's not nearly as bad as they try to make her out to be to the court. It's not nearly as bad. She's got a lot of pressure on her. She's a celebrity. She's, she has a couple kids. She had a divorce. She's trying, she's got a lot of fans. Her whole life is, in front of everybody, in front of the world. So yeah, that's enough to put some pressure on somebody. But she's not, mentally incapacitated that she can't run her own life, and she can run her life. But I also have for her, and she is Sagittarius, the Page of Wands. It's in the reverse position. So, like I was talking about, that kind of lack of energy, that she's just exhausted. She's just exhausted of people taking advantage of her. But at the same time, I see that Strength card sitting next to the King of Swords, the Father, and she's getting ready. Okay? She's getting ready, fans. She's getting ready to fight this, because it's coming. It's coming where they're going to go to court, and I have a feeling she's going to do very well, especially looking at the star. There is hope for her. There is hope to get out of this, but to get that control. Let's draw another card. That's probably a little bit of her position. And I do feel a little bit with the ex, the father, Kevin Federley or whatever, the King of Pentacles. I do note representing the sons is the Knight of Pentacles. So there's, he's well taken care of, and I'm sure the dad is divvying the assets and so forth. But there's some strain with that too. I feel like she went through a little bit more with that relationship than she maybe lets on, even though it was quite well publicized and everything, their relationship. There is still some deep wounds and so forth from that. There was, other than her kids, there were some mistakes made in that relationship, but there is some strain with that as well. But he was kind of looking at that King of Pentacles, yeah, he was, he made off pretty darn good after that relationship, because it was easy money for him, and that's very sad. Light at the end of the tunnel, fans. Okay, she's not going to be able to be controlled forever. I just want you to know that, and I do like the fact, an end to the battle. This is what it is. There's casualties, people are hurt, that's what happens with the Five of Swords, but it is the end of a battle, and it is in the outcome. So, and the fight is going to end. Britney will get free, guys. She is going to get free. There's going to be a point where they realize that she is, somebody's going to say she's not as mentally ill as people are making her out to be. I don't buy it. I'm looking at Knight of Swords reverse. I don't buy it. This is not some kind of schizophrenic. This is not somebody, always trying to kill themselves, that kind of situation. This is about money. You guys know it. You fans know it. And this psychic agrees with you.